Hi, this is Whose Life with Jordan. My name's Jordan, and the first story I'm going to share with y'all is one of my own. For the first time, I did better in complete silence. I don't think my issue when it comes to focusing is noise related. I think it's more about how much I feel like I need to prove myself to someone. All of my preschool and elementary years, everything I had done always made someone vital to me proud. Then when middle school came around, no one seemed to notice or be proud of me anytime I did something, so I gave up. Same with freshman year. Then, when this year, sophomore year, came along, I found myself getting focused, feeling as if I had to prove my worth or I had to prove I was worthy of being proud of. Throughout the years of my life, throughout the years of my life in preschool and elementary school, I did everything I could to make my parents and teachers proud. For example, Miss Adams, my preschool teacher, had me write my name 10 times a day, every day, and I did it with no complaints. Because I felt like I had to prove to her that my handwriting was perfect, how she wanted it, and that I was an excellent writer to my parents. I went to Lahani High and elementary school, for my preschool years, then moved to Irving, Texas, and started attending La Valita Elementary School. My favorite teacher from La Valita, the only one I remember the name of, was Miss Fisher because she was so sweet and allowed me to do work from other classes in her class when I finished hers. She also always brought me candy from time to time. One of my favorite memories from elementary school is when I got in trouble in the computer lab. It was a Wednesday in February, and my class was all in the computer lab doing Hour of Code. I struggled a bit, not raising my hand because I felt like if I did, I wouldn't be making anyone proud. So I got upset at the computer and yelled, "Work, you stupid computer!" I got pulled out of the computer room by one of the assistant principals there and was practically grounded from the computer room for a week. Next, I went to Barbara Bush. A living hell. I gave up on trying when it came to my assignments, believing that the completion of these assignments wasn't worth anything to me. So I always waited till the last minute to even start working on the assignments. However, there was one teacher who always did the work for in her class, Miss Fox. She was an angel, stuck in a pit of fire and rude kids. There were at least 3 fights a day. The hallways were extremely crowded. Kids were doing drugs and watching inappropriate videos, and some kids even attempted to beat up teachers at times. There was one kid who had tried to attack Miss Fox, but since she was an ex-army officer, she managed to stand up for herself. Another teacher I loved was Mr. McDaniels, but sadly, he passed away before the end of that school year in 2021. He had a heart failure, and what angered me the most was that all the kids in my class laughed about his death. My favorite assignment from him was when the whole class had to watch car crash compilation videos and notice how Newton's laws work. My 8th grade year was when a trusted friend had given me drugs. The girl, Zanaya, who was dating my best friend, Shreya. Zanaya came into my second period that we had shared, holding a bag of homemade cookies, saying, "Does anybody want some? They're made with love." Of course, I was hungry, so I naturally asked, "Could I have one?" And she handed me half a cookie. I took a bite out of the middle and was met with an interesting taste of apricot and almost something that tasted like grass. I called her Z at the time, so I went, "Z, these taste interesting. What's in them?" I looked up at her from the cookie. Zanaya looked at me and whispered, "Weed." I freaked. It was clear she had noticed because she looked down at the cookie and said, "Oh shoot, you took a bite out of the middle? Go to the bathroom and spit it out, then chug water." I had the teacher dismiss me immediately from the class, without saying a word of what had happened, rushing to the bathroom. When I reached the bathroom, it took me a minute to get to a stall because my vision was blurry. I was crying. I had doubled over the toilet, spitting, gagging, trying anything to get rid of the cookie and the taste. I eventually rushed into the office, hysterical, telling the bald assistant principal, that I was given a weed cookie. Please let me call my mom. The assistant principal must have thought I said wheat, because I was brought into the nurse's office, and the nurse had tried to calm me down. I was violently shaking, rocking myself back and forth, mumbling over and over about the fact that I had been betrayed by someone so trusted to me. Eventually, it took a while, I got pulled into the principal's office when I had calmed down. My mom, stepdad, the principal, and an officer all sitting there looking at me. I felt like I was drowning, suffocating in their view. I wanted my mom to hug me, tell me everything was all right. But that didn't happen. The officer looked me dead in the eyes and said, "These cookies aren't edibles. They don't smell like weed." I was astonished, because everyone knows that when you cook weed into food, you can't smell it. Zanaya's mother had also told them that they were store-bought. But me and my mom checked every store website, every store we had ever gone into for weeks, never finding a single cookie that matched the one I was given. Not a single one. Then freshman year came along. I couldn't care less. I had moved to a brand new district, knowing no soul in the area other than my father. I wasn't rebellious, never got into a fight or skipped class, but I rarely did assignments on time. But when the second semester came around, I slowly started actually to try on my assignments. But I didn't indeed start caring until semester exams arrived. This year, as a sophomore, I've noticed I have more effort and more of the feeling to prove myself. I'm learning that the harder I push myself, the more I will feel like I need to prove my worth, no matter what. Like with the TSIA essay on May 1st, 2024, I felt like if I didn't pass, there would be no way to prove that I'm worthy of respect, kindness, and love.